Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome back to another review of IMDb's top 50 greatest films of all time. And the film that we're talking about today is a little different than the other ones that we've talked about so far, and the other movies that we will talk about for the rest of this countdown. This is an animated film. It is called Spirited Away, and it came out in 2001. It is a Japanese film, so it is directed by Hayao Miyazaki, and it stars the voices of Davy Chase, Suzanne Pleshette, and Jason Marsden. If you haven't guessed, I watched the English dub. There is a full Japanese version. It's the same length and everything. It's just in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, so when the opportunity came about that I could watch it in English, I took that, and it was actually quite good. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this film. It's very interesting, and it's really good looking. It's a really good looking film, but you have no idea what it's about, so let me enlighten you on that topic. So it's about a little girl named Chihiro who is moving to the suburbs. She's in Japan, and her family stumbles upon this old building with a tunnel in it, and so they walk through this tunnel and they come to what seems to them like an abandoned amusement park. They go in and they find all this delicious food, and they start eating this delicious food, and then her parents turn into pigs, and then it gets really weird. The sun sets, spirits come out, and they go into this bathhouse, and now you have this really cool animated adventure about this little girl and her encounters with these spirits because she's been spirited away. That's kind of the premise behind the film. Now, the bathhouse is run by a witch named Yubaba, and she is evil, and she's this old lady who's voiced by Suzanne Pleshette, and her head is gigantic, and her nose is the size of my arm. And she's, not the nicest. They find Chihiro there because the whole thing is humans aren't allowed into this building. It is a place for spirits only. No humans allowed. It's very against the rules, and the way that they find that out is you have to cross this bridge to get in, and if you're breathing on the bridge, then they'll know that you're a human. So there's one scene, it's a pretty long bridge as well, so she has to walk across it calmly without breathing, and it's actually a really tense scene. It's one of my favorite scenes of the film. She goes in, she's hiding, and she meets a boy named Haku, who's voiced by Jason Marsden. He's probably my favorite character in the movie because he can turn into a dragon, and who doesn't want to turn into a dragon? I want to turn into a dragon. I think that would be awesome, and Haku is pretty awesome. But this film is not as great as a lot of people make it out to be. No, don't get me wrong, the animation is absolutely stunning. It is some of the best I've ever seen. It's all, from what I can tell, cartoon. I'm not really big into anime. I'm not really passionate about it. I know people that are really super into anime, and that's fine if that's what you like. That's not really my thing. If you like anime, then chances are you've seen this movie already, and even if you don't, you just have some general knowledge, you've probably seen this movie. I was told by people, what do you mean you haven't seen Spirited Away? It's, like the most well-known animated, or Japanese animated film ever, and pretty much every well-known Japanese animated film is directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Sorry for the mispronunciation of your name, Mr. Miyazaki. I don't speak Japanese. But it's a really, really, really well done film, and I think Leonard Maltin actually agrees, so let's hear what he's got to say on the matter. Spirited Away, where are you? There you are. Alright, so he gives it 3.5 stars. That's high. Okay. While moving to a new home in the suburbs, a sullen, easily frightened 10-year-old and her parents discover a hillside tunnel that leads to an enchanted world. Japanese animation maestro Miyazaki's abiding interest in the supernatural and the inner lives of children, especially little girls, is in full flower here. A wondrous work of art with an astonishing array of gorgeous images and fantastically imagined creatures, this won an Oscar for Best Animated Film. The English dubbing, produced by Toy Story director John Lasseter, is outstanding. So, he gives it a very favorable review, and I agree with a lot of the things he says. Visually, this movie is stunning. Really, it's amazing. It's kind of like Avatar, the James Cameron one with all the blue people. Visually, it's amazing. The story is incredibly shallow. I'm not comparing the story of Spirited Away to the story of Avatar, because the story of Spirited Away is much more original and much more better realized than that of Avatar, which you've probably seen because it's the most successful film ever. Okay? You've probably seen Avatar. I don't like Avatar, but I like Spirited Away. I don't love Spirited Away, but I like Spirited Away. It's a good film. It is well made. The voice acting is very good. The animation is incredible. It's some of the best I've ever seen. As I said before, Hayao Miyazaki, I keep messing that up. There's a bunch of his other movies on this list. There's like 10 of them or something. No, it's not 10 because he's not Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, by the way, interesting trivia fact, Christopher Nolan has the most films on the IMDb Top 250 with 7 of his 9 films being listed because he's a great director. But Hayao Miyazaki has probably at least 3 or 4, I'm going to say, because I know he has Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke. I've not seen it. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it. That's supposed to be very good. That's ranked around 70, I believe. So, really, there's not much I have to say about Spirited Away, except one thing. If you are interested in watching it, it's a little difficult to find. I tried to rent it through Amazon like I do with most of the movies I watch, and they didn't have it. So I checked on Netflix, which I have a free trial for, which I just used to watch Lost, and also I started watching Daredevil, which is a really good show. I might review it when I'm done with it, so look forward to that, maybe. But I don't think it was on there either. What you can do is you can actually just look up Spirited Away full English, and there's a bunch of sites where you can watch it for free. What I did, I opened up Internet Explorer on my Xbox, and I just full screened it there and watched it on my TV like I was streaming it and had no problems at all. It was in good quality. Everything was in sync, so it was good. Easy way to watch it. It's just kind of more difficult to find than you might expect with other movies. So, is this movie any good? Yes, it is good. It is not fantastic. I've heard people say that Dr. Manhattan, stand up. I've heard people say that this is, one of the best movies ever, and IMDb clearly agrees. Should it be on this list? I think so. But should it be in the top 50? Maybe. Top 100? Yeah. Top 75? Yeah, I would agree with that, just not top 50. But somewhere between, 80 and 50, I'd say, is a good place to put Spirited Away. Not hating on the movie at all, I'm just expressing my opinion. I didn't love it, but I liked it, I enjoyed it, I had a good time with it. Maybe I would watch it again sometime in the future and revisit it and maybe revise my thoughts on the film. But that's really all that I have to say about Spirited Away. This was a pretty short review, but there wasn't too much to say about it. So, my next review will be City Lights, which is another old film. We're doing some different movies so far. But then we get back on track with, I believe, yeah, so after City Lights, so a week from today, we'll be Saving Private Ryan, a movie that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. So, look forward to that, look forward to City Lights, look forward to Saving Private Ryan, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday with my next review. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later.